This is Jared with Stampede Blue. This is your Indianapolis Colts post-game wrap, and the Colts lost today on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the final score was 28-24. Um, the Colts lost primarily after starting the game off hot and being ahead 24-7 midway through the third quarter. Flatly, Kenny Moore was called for a pass interference. That wasn't a pass interference, and nothing was done about that on the spot. And then I think that the Steelers, as a team, and the Colts as a team of people and players, recognized that the Colts were no longer going to get the better part of the officiating, and that the Steelers were. And then the Steelers rattled off a couple touchdowns, clawed back into the game. There was a series of no calls. Ultimately, I have a bad taste in my mouth, so I'm really not happy at all with that outcome. I really felt like the Colts were the better team here. I really feel like the Colts should have won. I'm willing to point fingers because I'm not a member of an organization and don't expect to be invited to be one. But I think that the Colts let up. I think the Colts were in a position to dominate and showed that they can win. And ultimately, they got taken advantage of by Ben Roethlisberger. He was 34 for 49 for 342 yards, 3 touchdowns. He's only sacked once. Had a rough start. He wasn't able to run the ball. But Juju, Deontay, Chase Claypool, Eric Ebron, and James Conner all had 4 or 5 or more catches. And if the Colts have a weakness, it's in the secondary, right? The real elite players for the Colts play linebacker and defensive tackle. The beatable players play cornerback and safety. For the Colts, Jonathan Taylor certainly has turned a corner in his young career. He was 18 rushes for 74 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nyheim Hines also rushed the ball effectively. 8 carries for 44 yards is still 5.5 a clip. Zach Pascal had 3 catches for 64 yards and a touchdown. T.Y. Hilton had 3 catches for 60 yards on 7 targets. That's concerning. And for the larger part, 22 for 35, 270 yards with a touchdown, an interception you know is going to happen, but 5 sacks is really what causes problems for the Colts today. If the Colts weren't going to win a game earlier this year without Anthony Costanzo, I think it's pretty fair to say the Colts are even less likely to win a game that they're without Braden Smith and Anthony Costanzo. However, you play for the game, you play for the moment you're in, and the moment they were in is up 24-7, a.k.a. all day, on the Steelers with 5 minutes left in the third quarter and coughed this game up. Ultimately, it may not keep the Colts out of the playoffs, so I suppose if there's a silver lining, it's that this didn't close the door for the Colts. But the Colts have to beat the Jags next week to, maximize their chance to go to someone else's house and get taken advantage of, because here's the problem. The Colts are capable of getting to the moment, but they're shaky in the moment. And they game plan to dominate, and then they dominate, and then they let up. So it's real hard to... I'm not happy that the Colts lost. I know why the Colts lost, because they relented. I can't be talked out of that. And yeah, I am interviewing for quarterback coach with a professional football team. So this mentality is going to leak onto the field somewhere, and I guess we'll kind of see what happens. This has been Jared with Stampede Blue. This is your Indianapolis Colts post-game wrap. Enjoy the rest of the games. Happy New Year. I'll see you after next week's game.